Welcome to Bad End Theater, a game all about making the right decisions and collecting as many endings as possible. The only problem is none of them are good endings. So sit back, grab a snack, and enjoy a game all about getting as many bad endings as possible. Welcome to Bad End Theater. You will make many choices, unlocking darker and darker paths, all in order to witness a lovely variety of tragic events. You are the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. You are told a maiden from your village has been kidnapped and is likely being held captive at the nearby demon overlord castle. You are happy to protect the townspeople. You were born to play this role. You head off on your adventure to rescue the maiden, but the demon soldiers block your path. You could kill them to gain experience. Ooh, okay. Bravely slaughter the evil creatures. Flee like a coward. I'm a hero. I don't flee. You make a quick work of the vile creatures who stood in your way. But you feel much stronger now. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gate. You're faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. Okay, ask if they'll let you in or cut through the demon army. Okay, if we cut through them, we very well might die. Okay, it says dutiful. I don't know what dutiful means, but it sounds weak. Or we can ask if they'll let you in. I feel that demons are fairly diplomatic. Let's choose a diplomatic route. You attempt to explain why you've come, but the monster before you is eyeing you with suspicion. They can't help but notice the demon blood from earlier. You haven't had the chance to wash that off yet. You have no choice but to fight the army in self-defense. Oh well, more experience points for you. You make your way through the castle, fending off all the demons that stand in your way. The overlord appears, demanding to know what the hell you're doing, murdering all her soldiers. You get straight to the point and ask her where the maiden is. This girl better be bad as hell. She feigns ignorance, a counseling act, but you won't be fooled. If the maiden isn't here, then what happened to her? You can see only one answer. The overlord definitely captured her. In fact, it's possible she already been devoured. Thinking about that poor maiden's face fills you with hatred. You fight the overlord with everything you've got. You cut her into pieces. The overlord has fallen. You breathe a sigh of relief, but your job is not yet finished. You search the castle. Unfortunately, you find no sign of a maiden within its walls. It's just as you suspected. She must have already been devoured. You feel hollow. A great evil has been banished from this world. But what does that matter if you were too weak to save someone? You stand alone amidst the carnage and ponder what it means to be a hero. You return to the overlord's remains and wrap her head in your cape to bring back to the village. Surely your great victory will be celebrated. I feel like everyone's gonna blame him for killing someone for no reason. Wait. Failed hero end. What was tragic about that though? There's nothing really tragic about that. Let's try that again, but this time let's be completely peaceful. Forgetting your pride, you escape with your life, but you can't return home now. Your reputation will be ruined. You take your chances at the castle. You're a hero after all. This is your job. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates. Holy crap, I need that Kaisenet experience because I don't know how to read.
And we called the
Okay, so now we can be diplomatic. So they're looking at me suspiciously, but they seem to trust you and escort you directly to the overlord's chambers. That was easy. Well, maybe I didn't have to kill anyone after all. Okay. The overlord is alone. You ask about the maiden, but the overlord doesn't seem to know what you're talking about. Was she really ever here? The overlord says that she wishes she could help you, but you're the first human that's come here in forever. Am I about to get with an overlord demon? You think of how you probably shouldn't trust her, seeing as she's a demon and all, but you can't really prove she's lying either. You apologize for the intrusion and return home to your village. The maiden was never found. Useless hero. Let's now see what the maiden was actually up to. You are a maiden. You live in a peaceful village next to a spooky demon overlord's castle. You are told that you are fated to be captured by the overlord one day. Because you are a beautiful young girl, demon overlords apparently love capturing those. I feel like this is ripping off Mario in some ways, but I can't be so certain of that. You are in church. You pray to your god, asking why you have been born into this role of maiden. You respect the divine plan and all, but you're really just curious as to what the point of it is. Meeting a demon actually sounds pretty gosh darn exciting. Maybe You would understand your role better if you were to just hurry up and get captured already. You leave a note and venture forth to find a demon just to, see what happens. Not long into your little adventure, a demon underling appears before you. It looks pretty scary. So I can shout for a hero to come save me, or I can introduce myself. Let's try to see if the hero would have actually saved her if he knew. You yell, but a hero doesn't come. The demon suddenly jumps you and starts biting. A lot. How painful. This plan of yours was completely stupid. You think, why couldn't you have been more patient? Why did you go looking for trouble? You aren't angry or anything, of course. This is your punishment for questioning fate. Bit by bit, you are swallowed by the demon until you are no more. Okay, so I just died. Note to self, let's not, be eaten alive, okay? So now, instead of yelling for a hero, what if I introduce yourself? You tell a demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from a village. The demon suddenly jumps you and starts biting a lot. How painful. But I do now know what happened to the maiden. This is why you don't tell women things and trust females. I'm just saying. All right, but now I'm a demon underling. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It's unbearably boring. Heroes rarely come all the way here to challenge the overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place staring into nothing. You feel like you're gonna go crazy if you don't get a break. You decide to ask the overlord for the day off. She gives you an earful about responsibilities and unquestioning obedience. You wait for her to finish her lecture before returning to your post. What does she know about anything? Who made her the boss of everyone? You complain about the overlord to your friends. They agree that she is a kind of a snob. You totally deserve to be kicked off the throne. You only wanted to vent your frustration, but the conversation somehow turned into an assassination plot. Are we about to kill the overlord? You should probably stir it in a responsible direction. Let's overthrow her. You agree that it's time for a change of management. Your friends suggest maybe you should be the new overlord. Yes! You like the sound of that. You announce your first act of rebellion is to take the day off like you wanted. You sneak out of the castle to have some fun. As you make your way along the path to the nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. Jeez! Who would have guessed? She greets you and says she has a favor to ask. You consider options. Gobble her up or hear her out. Now listen! We saw her die multiple times. Let's see what happens when you just, hear her out. You're in a good mood today and are rather curious about what the maiden has to say. The maiden is going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. The bottom line from what you gather is that she wants you to take her to the overlord. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the overlord. The overlord asks where you found this maiden, knowing full well that you left the castle when you weren't supposed to. You apologize for disobeying her, but hope that the maiden is an interesting enough present that you may be forgiven. The overlord nods and says everything's cool as long as you always listen to her from now on. She's not so bad. She seems like a pretty fair overlord. You're now impressed with what an easygoing boss she is. You mention how you can't believe you and your friends even considered overthrowing her. She gives you a look and you say, that was just a joke, of course. She smiles and dismisses you and you decide it's about time for a nap. I feel like you're gonna die because how is that tragic? After a few hours of sleep, you're rudely awakened by the sounds of battle. You emerge from your room to find that a hero has slaughtered many of your friends and work associates. What a jerk. Avenge your fallen comrades or save yourself. Let's be a coward. Saving myself. You look around at all the lifeless forms as those you've known as far back as you remember. You feel glad to not be in their shoes. You also feel guilty to be thinking that as you leave the castle until you remember your role, not as an underling, but as a demon. This kind of thing is expected of you. Maybe you'll start a new life far away from any humans or demons. Deserter underling end. Okay, this has a lot of potential. Let's try that again, but this time, let's go eat the lady. You start devouring the maiden without so much as a second thought. You feel quite proud of that. Other humans would surely praise you with curses if they were around to see. Oh man, if only someone could have been watching. Time to find an audience for your evil deeds. You wander into the nearby village. The people are screaming and running away, throwing rocks at you and whatnot. You think that's pretty rude of them. You haven't even done anything yet, but I plan to put on a show. You attack the nearest human. He's old and weak and his bones crunch delightfully. As you continue your bloodthirsty dance, striking the villagers down, you fail to notice a sword-wielding hero running towards you. He takes you out in one swift blow. You're just a demon underling after all. As you die, you think that was totally worth it. You know what? That was a pretty good one. But now let's see what happens if we, change our minds. Figure if people are this upset at just the sight of you, you won't fully appreciate any terrible acts you'd commit. This little day out has been adequately refreshing. You return to the castle thinking you'll take a nap. After a few hours of sleep, you're rudely awakened by the sounds of battle. You emerge from your room to find that a hero has slaughtered many of your friends. So it's time to avenge the fallen comrades. What does this guy think he is? Coming in here and killing everyone like some maniac. What did we ever do to him? You lunge at him while he's busy driving his sword into the guard. You like that guard. You wish with all your demon heart for this hero to suffer for his deeds. You bite into him, tearing flesh from bone. The hero struggles. You feel his sword go through you, but there is no pain, only retribution. More of your comrades pile onto him as your conscience fades. The hero is overtaken. Your army has won. Victorious underling. Okay. If we just keep the diplomatic role and the underling, maybe we can talk to the hero? You don't get to sleep long. Your friends wake you up. Rude. They say they're planning a whole revolution. They're gonna get rid of the current overlord and put a new ruler in place. They want to hear if you're in or out. And being a pretty lazy underling, you of course reply with, that sounds like a lot of trouble. How about you just skip it instead? Your friends question your loyalty to their cause. We can actually overthrow her right now or not. You tell them you were just joking and clarify that you're totally in it to win it. You follow your friends outside the castle to talk more about your plan. You're curious if they have any idea how they want to go about this. They figured they'd just lock her in a room and set it on fire. What a stupid plan. You realize your friends aren't just a bunch of directionless thugs unless without someone's guidance. Your guidance. They'd probably be casualties if you fought her head on. And while showy deaths make a revolution a heck of a lot more fun, probably be the wrong way to go. Your friends agree and suggest that you play the assassin. You and your friends turn to notice a pair of humans have overheard the entire conversation. They take off into the castle. Are they headed into the overlord's room? The overlord would kill you for sure if she found out you were conspiring to take her out. You dash into one of the castles after the human. Sure enough, the maiden's already frantically telling the overlord everything. You shout that the humans are liars. Your friends soon arrive to back you up, except they don't. Instead, they blame you, the whole thing on you. You can't believe they'd tell the overlord such a blatant lie. You always knew better than to trust them. You're the only one who didn't have a chance here. You all shout at each other until the overlord demands silence. You hear your traitor's friends mutter something about going back to a plan A, and suddenly the door slams shut. You're trapped in here with the overlord and two humans. And then the room bursts into flames. You pound on the door screaming curses at those who betrayed you. The hero joins you, vowing to slay the lot of them. You wish he'd get the chance. The overlord grabs you by the throat. You cry for mercy. You're forced into this mess. You're sure now that they would have killed you if you sided with her. But the overlord doesn't hear your pleas. She drives her claws into your chest. At least she made it quick. Yeah, fair enough. Traitor underling end. So let's try that again. Let's see what happens if I don't want to overthrow her a second time. She's actually not so bad, guys. Your friend seems pretty disappointed. They apologize to you, but before you can ask them what they're sorry about, one of them suddenly seizes you. Someone who's still loyal to the overlord really has no place in our castle. You understand that, right? This is a pretty messed up thing to do to a friend. You tell them. They slit your throat in response. Faithful underling ending. Okay. I like that. Let me try being the overlord now. You are the overlord. You live in a castle surrounded by the demon servants. It's a pretty cushy life, except for those pesky humans who keep killing members of your family. There's even a role called hero, whose whole purpose in life is just to dethrone you. You're still new to the whole overlord thing. If you're being quite honest with yourself, you don't really understand the politics of it. But you remind yourself everyone is just doing their best to fulfill their roles. You won't let them bait you into being evil overlord they expect. She's a little bit nicer than I expected. One of your underlings walks into your room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. What do you do with this underling? Tell them get back to their work or grant them the day off. Let's grant them the day off. You know, they're working for it. They thank you and happily scurry off to do who knows what. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide to nap for a little while. Being the overlord sure is great. You know, I feel like being an overlord would actually be so boring. All you have to do is really sleep. You're awake to a knock on your door. The underling from earlier brought back some company. It's a maiden from the nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. The maiden then goes on to say that she's been getting very impatient thinking about her impending capture, so she's come here to speed things along. wrong. You appreciate her honesty, but regret to inform her you never had any plans to capture any humans. She seems very disappointed by this. How can I become more maiden-like? You don't really understand the question. You think the world puts way too much focus on destiny and junk. Just go home and stop worrying about it, you tell her. The maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. You feel warm inside as she looks into your eyes. This is the first time a human has looked at you without contempt. You wonder what to say. Tell her she'd better go home. Let her stay for a while. Let's let her stay for a while. Let's see what happens. You can't bring yourself to send this maiden away. She just got here. You enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. You're glad that she seems to have an open mind about these kinds of things. You also bring up how you always instruct your army to avoid humans as to not agitate them to get heroes sent after you. That explains why people in my village have been left unharmed. You joke that maybe you've been lying to her this whole time. Now, why are we playing with her like that? Come on, are we serious, bro? The maiden laughs at that, saying she wouldn't mind being held captive here. The people in her village are a little exhausting at times, she says. You can't tell if she's into you or not. You're interrupted by another human in the doorway. This time it's a hero. He was apparently searching for the maiden who was rumored to have been captured by your kind. It is so goddamn cold in my room. I'm gonna go get a blanket. I'll be right back. Whew. That will feel a billion times better. He was apparently searching for the maiden who was rumored to have been captured by your kind. Captured? Not at all. I only wanted to meet with the overlord. Didn't anyone read the note I left behind? After everything is explained, the hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. The maiden apologizes for causing trouble, and the hero asks her to return to the village with him. Confusing feelings well up inside your heart. You're surprised that you had one of those to begin with. Is the overlord in love with the maiden? You don't want the hero to take this maiden away from you. Keep her here. Let them go. You know, so far we've been nice. Let's let her go. Are you certain that she'll return to spend more time with you? You just have to trust in that. With the hero and maiden gone, you plop down into the comfort of your luxurious overlord bed. Your room feels so empty now. Is this loneliness? You hope your new friend will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while. You've almost fallen asleep when the maiden and hero burst into the room, frantically trying to communicate something to you. You're told that a group of demons is plotting to assassinate you. You're not surprised. How nice of the humans to care, though. One of your underlings barges in next, shouting that the humans are liars. They're followed by another group of demons crying that everything was the first underling's plan. Everyone is shouting. Wait, I don't know why I shouted that. Everyone is shouting over each other now, and it's very annoying. You yell for all of them to shut their traps. You have no doubt that your servants would let their ambition cloud their judgments and lead them to try to take your throne. The group of demons start muttering something about going back to plan A and suddenly slam your door shut. You, the maiden, the hero, are one of the underlings are trapped inside. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. Your underling pounds on the door, cursing at their friends for betraying them. The hero pounds on the door as well, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. So this is how you'll die, burning alive in your own room by those you thought you could trust. You should have expected this from a bunch of idiot demons, though. You notice the maiden crying. Why does she have to die over something that has nothing to do with her? Perhaps she was cursed from the moment she spoke to you. You wonder if you're cursed as well. You're so filled with rage, anger, and frustration, you don't even notice that you grabbed the underling those traitors blamed everything on. After cry and mercy, saying that they were dragged into this plot knowing that they'd be killed if they took your side, they cry that they didn't want to have to kill you. You almost feel sorry for them. Take retribution or be merciful. Oh, we can be merciful. You release the underling. Killing them wouldn't make you feel any better. Besides, they've already gotten their punishment. You all burn together. Overlord true ending. It can't end like this. Keep collecting bad endings for now. Hey, it can't end like this. You want the answer to the maiden's prayers. You've decided to find a way to save everyone, but retracting the paths you've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be any room to avoid a bad ending. Is there really nothing you can do to keep them all from getting killed in the end? If there's nothing you can do by acting from within their story, maybe it's time to take things into your own hands. On fire? Wait, who's this guy? Okay, we have 22 of the 41 bad endings, and we unlocked a new character. You boldly insert yourself into the story and use your incredible power to warp everyone to safety. You didn't know you could do that, but what's going on here? You take a moment to get a good look at yourself. Am I God? The hero, the maiden, the underling, and overlord have been staring at you too. They look like they don't really know what they're supposed to do right now. You guess that's because you're usually the one guiding them. What will you say to them? Hi guys, or I've come to save you. Hi guys. You smile awkwardly and introduce yourself. My prayers have been answered. You must be her god? No, you're merely the player. If there's any god here, they'd be the final boss. Is this foreshadowing? Now, enough of this. I am the narrator, the storyteller, god of this world. Call me tragedy if you'd like. Darkness envelops your party. You don't mind if I send each of them back to relive one of their many bad endings, right? I sincerely hope you've been enjoying your time in my theater. Though I can't abide you stealing the show without permission. It's quite disrespectful. I'm sick of all these bad endings. And frankly, you should have never have come to the place called Bad End Theater. Haven't we already been over this? You think defeating me might just be the only way to see a better ending? That's all that's left for you, isn't it? Well, this does sound like it could be entertaining. Show me what you've got. Time to fight God, my dog, my brother. You are not beating a god. What will you do? How will you fight against tragedy itself? I'd love to see it. Attack. You try your best to tear me down, but you can't seem to do any damage. You don't truly exist in this world after all. Oh, is that all? You never defeat me like that. Perhaps you don't understand just how outclassed you are here. What is happening? You've witnessed 22 of my painstakingly crafted endings. Your heart does indeed ache for these characters. How could you want to put an end to all this? Do you truly care for them that much? They're still suffering backstage, you know. It's a shame they couldn't make it here to the end of the world. That's right. You came here to save them. You can't do this alone. What? I can summon? You find the hero is home, hunched over a sewing table. Your sudden intrusion scares the hell out of the poor guy. Are you some kind of demon? You explain that no, you are not a demon. You're how you can explain in the way the hero can understand. Instead, you ask him what he's sewing. Oh, this. Yeah, that would have worked on me. I'm not gonna lie. If someone just spawned in my house and just started asking me, what are you selling? I would be interested. I craft all my own gear. The true end for the hero suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change his fate. I can make a living as a tailor rather than a hero. Please tell me what I can do to reach that dream. The hero will now fight alongside you. I agreed to follow you, but I didn't expect to face something like, yeah, you know, you kind of set him up for failure. You recruited him to fight God. The hero has arrived. We really couldn't have a final boss battle without him. You're the one who's been killing us. Murderer. I can't truly call myself a hero until I see you defeated. We'll see about that. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Oh wait, I took damage. Oh, so I only have 22 HP because that's the endings I got. So I need to get more endings to get more health so I can summon more people maybe? You happen to find the maiden as she exits the church, her heart set on the meeting of a demon. Perfect timing, she approaches you, having already taken notice to your odd form. Excuse me, are you a traveler? I've never seen anyone like you before. You explain that no, you are not a traveler. Well, maybe you are, in a sense. You've come all this way. The maiden regards you with excited curiosity. Then perhaps you might be a demon. I was hoping I would meet you today. You think of all the terrible fates that hope would bring about. She is the catalyst to the story after all. My role as a maiden is to be captured by the overlord, but you see, I've grown so tired of waiting. You remember that this part, she wanted to understand her role better, and so you ask her what it is that she's really hoping to gain from this. The maiden is confused with your question. Perhaps it was as simple as wanting to reach the place she felt like she belonged. The true end for this maiden suddenly becomes clearer. You offer to change her fate. There's something I can do to find fulfillment, and please guide me. So you're just gonna trust this random naked dude on the street? That is not how you should live your life. What is this horrible creature? You wound me, dear maiden. Is tragedy really such a terrible thing to behold? I remember now. I remember all of the awful things you put us through, and this should be familiar to you as well. So what if I summon the overlord? You enter the overlord's room, relieved to see the fire contained to the torches on the walls. Who are you? Have you come to reside in my castle and serve me? You explain that no, you're not here to serve her. It's more like you've come to do her a favor. You ask why she spent all day sleeping instead of commanding her demon army. She laughs in response. You realize she must be actually very lonely, only surrounded by soldiers instead of her friends. No wonder she gets so attached to the maiden. The true end for the overlord suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. My own attempts at peace have been rather imperfect. If you have other solution, then very well, I will follow you. Why is everyone just blindly trusting this guy for no reason? I hope you prepared to face your deaths as well. He still has infinite health and I have 13. Maybe I can summon the underling and it will get rid of his infinite health. Hey, what's up with the weird looking intruder? What do you want? He might actually feel some kind of excitement. All he's wanted was some intruder to come so he can kill it. You tell the underling that you've come to save them from tragedy. Okay, try saving me from boredom first. I hate this job. See, I literally called it. He's literally just gonna join him because he doesn't have to be at the wall. Now that your whole party's here, can you solve my final puzzle? Which combination combination of behaviors will open the path to the true ending? Show me. So I need to figure out which of these will end him. I'm going to say for the underling first. He has mischief and tenacity. I don't really know what tenacity is, but he's not really mischievous. He kind of just wants to have a day off. So I'm going to pick tenacity for him. Knock me down and I'll just come back stronger. The underling uses their tenacity to overcome tragedy. Oh, it worked. Tragedy is reeling. So the overlord is the next easiest because she has ambition and brutality, but she's not brutal at all. She just wants to have a chill life. So maybe ambition? I'll reach my true ending with my own power. The overlord uses their ambitious nature to overcome tragedy. Tragedy's really... Wait, it's working. Okay, so now it's the two. Maiden and hero. So Maiden is extremely kind, but she's also extremely hopeful because she... Okay, wait a second. Her whole thing is trying to get her destiny. Our true ending do exist. They simply must. Maiden hopes with all her heart to overcome tragedy. The tragedy's reeling. So now... Okay, wait. It's all up to the hero. Coin flip? I think a coin flip. If it goes on heads, I will pick willpower. If it goes on tails, I will pick justice. Okay, there's a 50-50 chance this is gonna be right. Oh, and I got heads. Willpower. Your reign of terror ends here, tragedy. I refuse to give in. The hero uses willpower to overcome tragedy. This is it. With everyone's heart united, you take aim towards your best possible futures. You all unleash our final attacks to destroy tragedy once and for all. Wait, I got it right? Or was any of them the right one? You know what? I'll take it. You've done it. You've managed to defeat me. A tragic ending for tragedy itself. I love it. I must thank you all for fulfilling your roles perfectly. Yes, my bad ending theater didn't contain a truly good ending after all. I apologize for antagonizing you for so long. I wanted to deliver a satisfying story. Was I able to do it? I wonder. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied. You died. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Happy endings shouldn't always come easy. Reality is not so kind, but you've earned this one. Here's your true ending. So I got a true ending? Wait, that was literally insane. That was actually, yo, if you actually think about that, that was so deep because everyone is stuck in the same loop, but they had to come together. Okay, the credits just finished. Your true end. So wait, the true ending was all of them dying? Oh, wait, what is this? Oh, you're still here. The curtain has closed for the final time. I'm shutting down my theater. There are no more tragedies left for me to tell, after all. There's one more, or ask tragedy its story. No, wait, it's low-key more cinematic if I say there's one more. Me? You like to know why I started this theater? Haha, because I'm obsessed with bad endings, of course. Remove the mask. You gently raise your fingers and the cracks in my mask. Piece by piece, it falls apart in your hands, revealing... She's hot! I should have warned you. This might affect what you think of my stories. You can't help but compare my face to the maidens. Wait, it's not her, but it's not like she isn't me necessarily. That's how it is with fiction. Would you like to hear not another ending, but the truth? All right, one last story. You may already know this, but it doesn't have a happy ending. First, I'll set the stage. In this world, there are no such things as demons or even heroes, really. There was a girl eager to set out to fulfill some sort of destiny. That part was true. She met someone, another girl. The two were inseparable for a time. Everything was just wonderful. But their families, the communities they came from, neither could approve of their relationship. This is the reality for many. This pair was no different. Despite their best efforts, the world was intent on pulling them apart. We used to like the types of stories where love conquers all, where the strength of your love will pull through any hardship, and everything is okay in the end. I lost her. And then I started this theater. But this story does have a happy ending. Wait, what? But the story does have a happy ending. Huh? What? I was hoping to find you. It's you. It's been so long. I thought I'd never see you again. You always think of the worst endings. I wasn't about to give up just because things got difficult. Why didn't you reveal yourself sooner? I feel like such a fool. I could say the same to you. You know I could never resist giving your stories a happy ending. So of course, I'd be drawn to a place like this. Yes, but I didn't think it would actually work. Sometimes everything does turn out to be okay in the end. Thank you for reminding me of that. I love you. Ooh, I love you too. Ooh! Now, truly, everyone can live happily ever after. Wait, that's so banger. So if you want to see more videos like that, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And everything will always come true.